Howdy guys, Jeremy from the Archeryshack. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a Mathews Z7 Xtreme 2870. We're going to put a brand new red string on, get it tuned up, paper tuned, and I figured it would make a decent video. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, check out our other videos. We got all kinds of different stuff on here. We go live on Thursday nights, we have a podcast, we have tuning videos. Check us out. Let's get on over to the bow press and start getting the strings on this bad boy. Alrighty, here we are over at the press. We got a brand new set of Archeryshack custom strings made out of X99 material in red with some black serving. I'm going to just take off his old set, sit it to the side. Get that cable off of there. Hope y'all are doing good. Hopefully you're not sitting at home too bored. If you do need a set of strings and you're not local to us, check out Archeryshackstrings.com. We ship out a lot of them. We'll be happy to get you fixed up. Single cam bows are usually not that complicated because you just got a two-piece set, and they are almost, you know, they were of course in the when Mathews was only doing solo cam stuff, they were extremely popular. We still get plenty of solo cam or single cams in, but not nearly as many as 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Got our cable on. So these strings, we lay them out, put them under tension, let them sit for a little while, and then we actually stretch them before we twist them, and then I can't find what I'm looking for. Then we twist them under tension, serve them under tension, stretch them some more, and then we measure them on 100 pounds. That's the way the standard is. I am going to go grab something that I left over here. Okay. Sometimes you have to run a string through this loop, and you can ease it through this roller guard without taking stuff apart. That's what we're going to do. But anyway, so they're pre-stretched out the yin yang, and then once you put them on, you have to do very, very little. And you definitely don't have to worry about them stretching. But anyway, give our website a check, Archeryshackstrings.com. Let us know how we can help you. We keep all the colors that BCY offers in stock and all that cool stuff. So just about to get this thing done, or at least the string on. So then what we'll do is go over to a vise, get everything, the loop on it, the peep tied in, all that sort of stuff, and then we'll go check cam rotation. So on a Mathews, let me, before I tell you that, I'm going to go ahead and stick my rest cord through the cable. Okay, let me go ahead and stick my peep in while I'm here. I'll actually have to check my notes. He didn't have a peep in his old string. There's not even a spot where it was tied in, so I wonder, is he not using the peep? I'll find out in a minute. What I was going to say is on a Mathews, most of them have a little window. I'm going to show it to you in a second. Let a little tension off to where you can see if the cable's lined up. And it is a good starting point. The window I've got, I need to put a twist or two in the bus cable, it looks like. I'm going to bring the camera over here real quick. Actually, I'm going to just take it out of here. There we go. See that circle on this particular bow? If the cable's dead center of that circle, that's a good starting point for your cam rotation. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to check our poundage and our axle to axle and all that. Let's ease over to the bow vise. We'll continue the setup. Alrighty, here we are over here at the vise. Excuse the huge mess. It seems like in an archery shop, it don't matter how much you try to keep stuff clean, it never works out. We'll every now and then we'll go through and clean like crazy, and then it seems like not even a week passes and we got us a mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my center shot close. On this particular bow, and a lot of the Mathews bows, they have a line down the center of the grip, and that is meant to help get your center shot close. So I'm gonna start there by eyeballing my string to the center of that line, and then putting my arrow in the center of the string. I used to really like this when we had the other store, because you could, back in the day when these bows were made, you could just about eyeball every one and they would bullet hole without having to do much else. So I'm gonna get my string level, just there. I'm gonna get my arrow level. If I can find an arrow, there we go. If I can find an arrow level. I try to, in the comments or in the description, I guess you would say, of this video, I've been trying to put links for like stuff we use when we do these videos, the levels, the squares, the whatever. So if you need any of that stuff, look down there. There'll be a link, and it's an affiliate link, so it gives us extremely small percentage if you were to buy any of that stuff. But anyway, any little bit helps us buy. I try to use, I think we've made a grand total of about $6 off of our YouTube channel, but I try to use that money, or am going to try to use that money to get us, you know, camera stuff and microphones and all the stuff we use for our little live feeds and mess. So anyway, if you need anything, check out the description. We appreciate you if you buy anything. So I'm going to get everything dead level. I got my string level. I'm going to get this arrow level. And there it is. There we go. And I'm going to tie my, y'all have seen me do it on my other videos, I'm going to tie my knocking points that are going to be inside my loop. It's going to prevent knock pinch and give me a heck of a reference if this loop ever has to be changed out. There's no way the exact spot will change. Some people, we've talked about this before, some people only tie one above the knock or below the knock, and that works great, especially for if you have to change a loop out, you've got a reference point. But the only thing that don't do is that loop can still slide up on the opposite end and sort of pinch that arrow. It's almost like it's a fine line with this stuff, because if, let's just say you put a straight loop on there without these ties, okay? Now you can use something like this, and these will really snug that loop down. But if you get it too tight, I don't care what kind of serving you got. I've seen people just, hammer down and it'll dig into that serving. I don't care who made it or what it is. It'll dig into that. So once that happens, you can't really rotate the loop around at all. It's dug in. So if your peep and your loop are not perfect at that point, you're sort of screwed. So if you put the one knock above or below the thing and then tie the loop, you still got that bottom end or top end that can possibly slide a little bit. With this, I leave a tiny little gap on the bottom just so that at full draw we're not pinching the knock. And then I put the loop on, and I get it tight. I use these Craftsman needle nose, these little tiny needle nose. I get it tight, but I don't get it so tight that, you know, it's dug into the serving tight. So I used to hate that. About 20, well, probably wasn't quite 20 years ago, 15 years ago, these Viper, and these come in handy, don't get me wrong, but these Viper loop pliers came out, and we thought this is neat, and we were just creaming every one of them, and especially on the factory strings, those loops were just digging into that serving, and some of those factory strings already had peep twist issues. So you couldn't take the loop and rotate it without causing, you know, either the center serving would come loose or it was dug in so tight that it wouldn't work. And then if you went to change somebody's loops, it was almost like the loop was sitting on bare string material. It was dug in so tight. So anyway, this is sort of in my opinion, the best of what you can do. Let me get you closer so you can kind of see what I did there. Okay. Hopefully this will stay in focus. It always wants to focus on the wall. I guess I should change it off autofocus. I've got the tiniest little bit of play. It's literally about one wrap of serving I left empty. Because at full draw, you could do the same test and that slop will be gone. Now, if you left a huge gap, not a good idea. You just kind of got to get a feel for it. But also, if I put that bottom right up against that knock, at full draw, it's going to be picking my arrow up, just like what I'm trying to prevent. So let's put a loop on this joker. I'm going to try to keep this in focus. I usually have trouble. It wants to go to the wall and to my hand and all that, but we'll see what we can do. Now, granted, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just putting a loop on without all this. We've had people call and ask 1,000 questions when they see this, and everybody has different variations and that sort of thing. I use this BCY 3D. Well, you can't see it because it's in the jig, but it's the BCY 3D serving for it. I usually use that for peeps and these little knocks. I think, yeah, there we go. It's weird because on the camera stuff is backwards looking, but we'll make it work. Get this tied on, and then we're going to tie his peep in, and what I'm going to do is sort of tie it at he didn't have a peep in his old string, but did want us to put one in this one. I don't know if he was shooting without one because there was no knots where it was at. Usually I would take the old string and line it up with the new one, but I'm just going to kind of set this at a generic distance and probably just tie around the peep until he comes in to pick it up, and then we can, you know, make sure it's right. But we'll tie that in, get his rest cord timed and tied in. We're going to go over there with a laser and get the idler lean out of it. Make sure this is cooled off. And then we're going to go shoot it through the paper. And usually these bows don't give much trouble, so we'll see what happens, but it's usually pretty straightforward with these. And if it's not, it's an easy fix. That's one thing I really like about single cams, is they are super easy to work with. I'm gonna flip his peep around I'm gonna back you back up. Okay. We'll use this little string separator and flip this peep, get it straight. And then I'm gonna tie around it. This peep is a 3/16 inch peep. This is a Fletcher peep. Here, I think 3/16 is definitely the most common size. We still do a few 1/4 inchers, still do some 1/8 inch stuff. You know, we do all kind of stuff in between, but by far, the 3/16 is the most bought. Probably, shoot, 8 to 1, 7 to 1. It's big, so good hunting size, but not too big. Still got a few people wanting those big 5/16 peeps, but let's go to the draw board. I'm gonna get this cord set first, and then we're gonna set this idler lean, and then we're gonna paper tune it. Here we are with the draw board. I'm gonna check our poundage while we got it here. We already checked. And our axle to axle was dead on the money. I don't remember, did I video that? I don't know. We're going to make sure we're right on 70 pounds. We're on 71.9 pounds. That's perfect. And now what I'm looking for is this rest cord here. I'm going to get it set. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to burn it. I'm going to put me a little serving above it to hold it. So I'm just checking to see that that's close. I think we got it right there. Let me tie it in, and I'm gonna come right back over here, and we're gonna use the laser on this idler wheel. Alrighty, I'm back. I just ran over there and served this in. So let's check our top idler wheel. Once I get it back, I may try to grab that camera and get over here closer so you can see what I'm doing. But all I do is come to full draw. And then if you were at home, we've had people ask this, you need to do this in sort of a safe manner. You don't want to get any fingers, you know, between the string and the cam, but you could take an arrow and run down your idler or your cam on whatever type of bow you got and see what you got going on. But what we got is this little spot hog laser. I don't know if that's in focus or not, but and it's machined to be perfectly flat. Oops. So I put it on the one side of the idler. Usually it hits the end of the limb. I put it on the other side of the idler, and that one's hitting the end of the limb. So on this particular bow, it's good where it's at. Most of the time, let me move this crossbow out of my way here. Okay. Most of the time it takes a half twist or a twist to get that thing just right. The importance of this is when you hit the trigger, you really want your cams to be perfectly square, and you know everything will be perfect. Every now and then we'll get a bow that won't paper tune, and we'll have to add a little lean into a cam or an idler, but that's not that often. So anyway, now you can check it. Let's check it. I'm gonna grab an arrow. Let's check it just sitting here and see what it tells us. This is the way I used to do it before all these lasers and stuff were invented. So usually you put it on, I'm on the right side of the cam. Now I've got this dang string suppressor in my way, so it's causing me a little bit of trouble. I'm gonna go to the left side, and I'm parallel with that string or very close to it. So, I mean, I'm not saying don't check it at brace, but I'm saying at full draw. On the launch, you really want it square. So let's go see if this thing will paper tune. Okay, we have got everything ready to paper tune. I'm gonna fire it through there and just see what we get. Shooting a Black Eagle Outlaw 350. We'll chronograph it after this as well. Here we go. We have got a little bit of a tear. I'm going to get this camera out of here. We got a left tear going on here. So what I'm going to do is shoot it one more time to verify that. Make sure it wasn't me or anything, and then we'll go to moving stuff. Here we go for shot number 2. We definitely got a little kick going on. So we got a left tear. I'm going to tap my rest to the right just ever so slightly, and then we'll try this again. Okie doke for the speed test. Actually, let me move this over. Here we go for the speed test. 72-pound Mathews Z7 Xtreme, 28-inch draw. We got an Outlaw 350 weighing in at 390 grains. Let's see what she's got. .283, not too bad. Thanks again for watching. If there's anything we can do for you, check out the description. I've got all our contact information down there. We'll be happy to, if you're local, bring your bow in. We can do anything to it. If you're not local, we've had a lot of folks, because of these videos, ship them in. If you need a bowstring, Archeryshackstrings.com. Usually just a couple-day turnaround. And just let us know how we can help. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already, and we'll see you on the next video.